Welcome to Knights of the Rolled Table. This is Season 5, and I am your Dungeon Master, Chris Daly, stepping back into the DM's chair, and I'm glad to be back. Hello, everybody. Hello, players.
Hey, DM.
What up?
We have a small crew tonight, and we'll kind of get to why in a bit when we start playing, but let's have everybody just introduce yourselves. Let everybody know that's listening who is here. Don't introduce your character quite yet. We're gonna wait for that. But if you've listened to the session 0, then you will have already known who the characters are. But go ahead and let's start with on my left, on my virtual left.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Frank, returning again. I was DM last season. Excited to be back as a player for this season.
And I'm Matt Messerman. I've been here as a player, and I continue to be here as a player. That's the way I like it.
But Jeff and Matt, if you've listened to session 0 of season 5, are playing some new characters. So to do things a little different, I thought we would start the campaign this new season with the new players, and we'll incorporate some of our other players and characters a little bit later. Hopefully next session we'll see what happens, but depends on how things go. So, I should say that we are incorporating a kind of a new homebrew rule, which is called stunts. So this is something I saw on, I forget which website, which is terrible, and I'm going to try to find it. But this is it's kind of a homebrew bonus action rule. So when you have a bonus action, it's a free action that's set aside for very class-specific kind of abilities. And so what we're going to do is have the option to do a bonus action called a stunt. So it's kind of what it sounds like. You can perform an especially daring or cool action, and you get to make a check to try and make what's essentially a free move action. It isn't without risk necessarily, but it adds a dash of extra frenetic opportunist pulp action flavor. So if you do have a bonus action, you can always do that. Or if you want to do a special flair, you can say, I want to do a stunt, and that can be done as a bonus action as well, and just kind of makes it interesting. But I might have you roll for some things as well. So any questions about that?
Yeah, what's an example of a stunt that somebody might do?
Yeah, so you might say, I want to move across these tables that are in the middle of the room, but instead of just moving over it normal speed, I'm going to do like a double flip and try to land with my feet kicking the ogre on the other side of the table. And that's particularly effective. And if you succeed in your skills check, then you might do extra damage, or you might knock him prone, or that sort of thing. So if it pulls it off really nicely, there might be benefits. If you don't pull it off, then there might be consequences.
You attempt to kick the ogre in the face.
Yeah, they end up
and
falling on your back, and now you lost your breath for 5 minutes or something.
Your feet are now in the ogre's mouth.
Yeah.
Oh no!
He is chewing on you.
Oh, I love
something like that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Delicious.
The world is still reeling from the simultaneous takeover of many realms by powerful rulers, beings, and creatures known only as the elites. These members of the Platinum Syndicate are now using their influence to not only dominate their own realms, but usurp others into their expanding empires. While fighting a secret battle to stop these elites, these Knights of the Realms were betrayed by infiltrators to the organization, leaving many knights scattered or missing. Although there is hope, as recent victories in Red Basin and Castor took down 2 more elites and gave the order away to filter out moles. As they try to regroup, many knights find themselves wondering how they can gain an advantage and who is behind this dangerous game of conquest. You wake up to the sounds of metal hitting steel and other metal. You sit up suddenly, and in the dim light of the fire that's been burned out, and there's a trail of smoke on the other side of the campfire that you've made, you see silhouettes through the haze of two figures fighting a third. Has someone encroached your camp? Where did these people come from? Then you notice they seem very familiar. The silhouettes that you see are of your companions. One of them is a smaller dwarven shape, and the other one is an elven shape. And you recognize these characters, or you recognize these figures as Corbear and Raleigh. Corbear is a dwarf, and Raleigh is a half-elf. And they seem to be fighting a third figure, which you immediately recognize as your mentor in the Knights, Anastasia. And they are swarming her. You're sitting down, you just woke up. What do you do?
Does it look like they are, like, attacking her?
They are definitely attacking her.
But we're all friends.
The last time before you went to sleep.
Alright. I will immediately grab my sword and run out there.
Alright.
Or, sorry, not my sword. My hammer axe thing.
Hammer axe. Okay. So
ham axe.
Okay, you're grabbing that. And Jeff, what does your character do?
Hey, now hold on, everybody. Wait. Oh, no, I'm already off to a bad start. Well, now, what's going on? Why are we fighting? Hold on. Stop all this. And I cast Shillelagh.
Okay.
I have a Shillelagh.
Excellent. So you hear a muffled scream and an intake of air, and the elven female sees you with a look of panic in her eyes, and she just scowls at you and starts running. The dwarf clutches his side with his hand and goes, "The damage is done." And then falls to the ground.
Anastasia, why have you attacked our friends?
Anastasia looks up and she says, "They attacked me." And then you notice as she brings up her hand, it's covered in a red, dark liquid. She's badly wounded, and she falls down on her elbows. Please come closer. I don't have much time."
Now, hold on.
Right.
We can fix you, Anastasia. Hold on.
Yeah. Melbin is going to cast Aura of Vitality.
Okay. You notice that something in her neck and face it is creeping up, and it's kind of like this dark, veiny tendrils, like almost like a bad skin infection, and she doesn't seem to be getting better. In fact, she's just rapidly getting worse. And she pulls you both into her as you kneel down. She kind of pulls you in and says, I've been poisoned."
Is it contagious?
No, I don't think so. Just listen to me. You need to find Drake Bloodmoon. He's in the city of Valentrell. Keep each other safe. Be careful who you trust. And she slowly puts her head to the ground, her last breath leaving her body. And Melbin, you wake up. For real this time.
What?
This was a flashback or a dream to something that happened a few weeks ago. You wake up in a small room. It's there's a wooden window with a small 4-posted bed. You're alone You have a simple wash basin next to you on a table, and it seems to be morning. You realize that you had a bad dream, and you woke up in the inn that you stayed with, that you're staying at. And your traveling companion is not with you.
Theo? Theo? Where are you?
We cut to a pile of hay, and the hay rises up, and under it is Theo. Theo, can you describe yourself?
Yeah. Theo is a orc ancestry with human culture man, and a little on the more slender side, very tall, and through looking like a craftsperson, like a farmer, and all the typical features of orcish ancestry, the tusk coming out of the mouth there, but less looking like a fighter and maybe more like I said, a farmer or a craftsperson.
Okay. And you wake up, Theo, and you're surrounded by hay, and there's kind of some feed bags, and you're in a stable.
Yep.
You're in the stable outside of the inn, where typically some livestock and horses are kept. And next to you is you see a small pile of coarse wool nuzzled up next to your side.
Okay, Rebecca, time to wake up. Come on, let's get on a walk. I know it's early, but we got to get out. I know. We'll meet up with Melbin in a minute. And we get up and head out for the morning walk.
Okay. So we'll say after your morning walk, you head back. You bring Rebecca, your sheep, back to the stable, and she enjoys some alfalfa, which is provided. And you head into the inn, and at the sort of breakfast nook, which is it's not a tavern inn, it's just an inn, but there is a little, some oats and fruit that's provided by the innkeeper. And you see your traveling companion, Melbin. Melbin, can you describe yourself, please?
Yeah, Melbin is in his mid-20s. He's a human. He's like just hair under 6 feet, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, dressed in plate armor. I assume he's probably donned that by now. Very, very fightery looking.
Mm-hmm.
Clean shaven, very wholesome looking.
All right. And just to provide you some context, it's been about 2 days since you arrived in the city of Valentrell. This is an inn in the middle of Valentrell that you're currently staying at. Your first day, you arrived towards the night, and your second day was mostly just looking around, getting your bearings, finding some places to eat, finding some places to shop. Melbin, you used to work here as a city guard, and you haven't seen anybody that you recognize. It's both familiar and completely alien to you. Every place seems the same, but everybody seems a little different, and you can't quite put your finger on it why. You haven't really started looking, but today was the day that you said, okay, we're going to really start searching for this Drake Blood Moon. But you've just had your breakfast, and what would you guys like to do?
Well, Mel, any idea of a blood moon where they might maybe have a family home or a manor somewhere? You ever heard of blood moon?
Have I ever heard of blood moon?
I'm going to have you roll a history check.
All right. That would be a 5.
Okay.
You're still waking up, I understand.
the name Drake Bloodmoon is to some people in Valentrell, it is a story that mothers tell their kids to go to sleep if they get out of bed. To others, he's a bit of a legend. He's a pirate that's 300 years old. Some say that he might be a werewolf. One person has said that he's actually a woman, and others say that he's already dead, and it's just a ghost that people see. So enough. With a 5, I would say you haven't heard anything concrete as to a location, but there is a legend in the that's sort of been told, almost like that tour guides would be like, and there's a legend of this Drake Bloodmoon, but like no one knows anything about if it's real or who he is or that sort of thing. So it's kind of curious that Anastasia on her dying breath said, find this character who, when you lived here for a short period of time, you were like, wait, who?
I have heard only rumors, Master Theo. But knowing the scoundrel that he probably is, we should investigate the seedier parts of the city.
Well, okay. I guess I'll follow you.
Oh, I'm in the lead. This is, how exciting!
Yes, the city is your domain. This is a bit uncomfortable. Do you think it'd be weird if I brought Rebecca with us? I mean, she don't do no harm.
I would not mind at all, for Rebecca is your companion in all things, and I look up to you, so of course. But others may think it's a little weird.
Okay, but like on a scale, like 1 to 10, like 10 is like a
5.
A 5. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't really help me. I'm gonna kind of lean back, kind of get down on one knee. Dexter back and be like, Rebecca, I think I need to leave you here for a little bit. Is that okay? I know. Yeah, okay. Look, don't give me that. I'll leave you something. Okay.
Hold on, that's more of a goat.
Okay, let me talk to the barkeep and see if Rebecca can stay. Hey there, Keep. How much for just one sheet for the day?
The inn that you're staying at is called the Weeping Wyvern Inn, and it's a little more pricey than you would have liked, but Melbourne seemed to think this was a decent part of town. The caretaker of the inn is named Lassie, and she is a short dwarven woman. She's kind of in the middle ages. She's got dirty blonde hair. It's slightly starting to gray, and she comes up behind the sort of front desk / bar when it's nighttime and says, "What you talking about then? You want me to take care of your sheep?"
You don't have to take care of her. I'll just leave her out in there. She'll mind her own.
Well, it's fine. You can stay in the stables. That's no problem. I mean,
Okay.
I'm planning on feeding the goats and the horses, so I can give her some grains and alfalfa a little bit later.
Well, I'll leave a special kid for her. She's on a special diet. I don't want to upset her while we're traveling. She's kind of been on
A special diet.
kind of a bit upset. Yeah.
Has she got the sheep stomach troubles? The sheep stomach
no.
troubles.
No, she's fine. It's just, the traveling gets it's emotional for her. So I don't want that.
All right. Well, I'll do my best. I'll check in on her, just make sure she's all right. But she should be
Okay.
fine.
Okay, make sure the gates are closed though. I don't want her running out.
Well, of course. Where are you heading off to today, gentlemen?
Well, we're looking for a feller named Drake Bloodmoon.
Ah, yes. You mentioned that when you came in the other day. I still haven't, don't know anything about that other than he's a bit of a myth. But you're welcome to look around. I mean, I'm sure there's places that might be able to help you out. Do you need a brochure of the city, a map?
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe a list of wineries that we can go on a little tour of later.
Oh, well, I don't have a
Do you have
list.
hot air ballooning?
I,
I've never been in a hot air
I
balloon.
don't quite know what that is. I mean,
Okay.
Madam,
I know what hot
Madam.
air is when you breathe it out, but
Madam, would you know where one should not go in this city for fear of danger? For that is where we shall go to seek this fiend.
well, if you open the attachment that I just sent you,
Oh, that's a good looking map, my man.
okay, so you open up a kind of a rolled up, crumpled, probably used piece of parchment that has a crudely drawn map. It doesn't look like there's a lot of detail on it, but it just has the sections of town so you can crudely navigate your way around. And a lot of these places seem familiar to you, Melbin, because you worked here as a city guard. You kind of know the surface area of everything. You know kind of where things are, but you don't necessarily know, the best places to eat in every district or anything like that.
Right.
It's more of just like, casual directions, and you have a good sense of direction of where everything is. So
And whereabouts are we? Where are we staying? In there?
I'll tell you. So Valentrell is a coastal city. It's surrounded by a large wall on the outer perimeter. There's about 9,000 people that live here, so it's a pretty big city. The inside is on a high hill, and you are staying kind of to the west of the river on the south part of town, which is called Eldath Crossing, and the inn is in that area. It's kind of a so that's where you're at, is Eldath Crossing, and if based on the map that you're looking at, you can tell me where you'd like to go, or you can kind of ask questions about what you know of the city.
Yeah, I assume being in the city guard that I would have a good idea of where the bad parts of town were.
Yep.
Where's the nearest bad part of town to Eldith Crossing?
So the bad part of town is actually kind of directly to the west of Eldath Crossing, which is the Gondmart.
Gotcha.
And the Gondmart, and all of these places, all these districts are kind of named after gods of the pantheon, different gods that are worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make a religion check, I can tell you which god is named after, which place is named after which god, but otherwise I'll just tell you. So the Gondmart is kind of like a southern market. It's lower rent. There's some smaller temples, but it's full of food and music, and but it's also kind of seedy because they don't have a lot of money, and there's some shady dealings that when you were in the city guard, it tended to be a place where you would go break up people that were drunk outside of taverns and things like that. Nothing like big criminal organization or anything, as far as you know.
Seems like a good place to go knock some heads and see what they know. Scout for rumors.
Okay.
Knock some heads, okay. Oh.
I was a city guard. What do you?
Okay, that's fair.
May not be his path these days, but
Some heads. Okay, so you want to head to the Gondmart?
yeah.
So you guys head west from the inn, kind of making your way through Eldath Crossing, and you head into the distinctly lower rent but still very populated area of Gondmart. Immediately you hear a little bit more chattering and pleasantries and unpleasantries in the air. The roads get a little less paved. The laundry is a little more hung outside the windows. It's kind of a mix between a positive, good-smelling barrio and a low-rent district of a city. So it's good and bad. So you have some amazing smells of beef cooking and bread baking. There's children running around with, you know, some sacks on and with some clothes on and just chasing each other, and some are spraying each other with buckets of water. Um, Mostly human again, but some dwarven and elvish as well. And you head into the Gone Mart. There is a large market in the center of this area, but is there anything in particular you're looking for? Do you want to talk to people? Do you want to go into shops?
I think we would want to go into like a tavern or something.
Okay.
Somewhere where we could have a quiet chat and hunt for rumors.
Okay. There are 2 taverns in this area. One is called the Sunken's Wrath, and the other one is called the Hungry Stone. The Hungry Stone is in a major crossroads and near the big public square market, and the Sunken's Wrath is kind of on a street that's a little bit more ominously quiet, but it's still well lit. It's directly in the sunlight.
As we're going, Theo's gonna be looking for anybody that's maybe vending cheese.
Cheese, like a dairy vendor.
Cheese.
Okay.
Yes, cheese,
Okay.
dairy.
All right.
kinda looking.
Make a perception check.
Okay. 11.
11. There's a lot of smells, some good and some bad, in this area. You don't pick up any cheese on the air. You definitely look around. There's a few carts, but you're not quite to the market square yet, so you probably will have some more luck with maybe some cheese once you get to the market square.
You know, Melbin, this doesn't work out. Maybe I set up a shop here and, you know, start making some cheese. I don't see any other cheese vendors out here.
Oh, and you make the most delicious cheese, especially from Rebecca.
So, where are we heading off to then?
There are 2 taverns nearby. I think perhaps Sunken's Wrath would be more prone to tell us what we need to know.
I will say, as a city watch, I have the Watcher's Eye.
Mm-hmm. Tell me
Trait.
about that.
So I can easily find the local outpost of the Watch or similar organization, and just as easily pick out the dens of criminal activity in a community.
Okay.
Although I'm obviously more welcome in the former than the latter.
Okay,
so-
that's good to know. So you know that more seedy individuals would hang out in the Sunken's Wrath, although it is around, I'd say at this point, about 10 in the morning, so it's not quite when seedy individuals would hang out. Although
Anyone hanging out at a tavern at 10 a.m. is probably a little seedy.
They're probably ending the night.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that time, right?
This is not quite to the dock ward area, like near where all the sailors hang out, but it's almost, it's like there's one more district to go before you get to that area. So, but yeah, you would know that between the two, if you head a little further and make your way to the Sunken's Wrath, it's slightly closer, so you have some mix of sailors, some mix of seedy individuals, some tourists that lost their way, some local workers that just want to unwind and get away from their families. It's usually the clientele there.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's where we should go.
Okay, so you head in, and sure enough, there are a few, but not many, patrons that look like they either had a hard night or they're starting early. And this is a wooden and sprawling single-story building. There's kind of a reinforced wooden door. It looks like it's been broken several times, but it's recently been repaired. There are some surprisingly nice hedges on the outside of the tavern. Towards the front, as immediately as you walk in, you see a taxidermied bear near the entrance, near a poker table, and it's very rustic in here. And immediately, as you open the door, you are greeted by a female voice from the bar saying, "Hello and welcome! Welcome to the Sunken's Wrath. What can I get you folks?"
Oh, I thank you.
And we'll approach the bar.
Hi,
And,
I'm Sybil.
Oh, hello, I am Melbin Gelrod, and this is my master Theo.
Melbin, Theo, nice to meet you. Will you
Nice
have
to
a
meet you.
bit of breakfast, or would you like something from the hair of the dog?
Maybe a tea for me.
Tea. I'll see what we got. Sure.
I'll take a light ale.
Oh, sure, no problem. We do have a special right now. For 4 silver, you can have a tankard of beer, and we got some nice egg steam buns that we just got out of the oven.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
All right. One of those and a tea. I'll be right back. And she goes into a back room. Comes back after a minute with a small mug of a hot liquid that is handed to Theo, and it's all right. You've had better. It's not the worst tea. It's not particularly flavorful, and there's some passable beer, maybe last night's, the dregs of last night's beer. But the egg steam bun looks very good.
I'll take a bite. How is it?
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
19.
So you know how food looks really good, like cheeseburgers, with several layers
Yeah.
and the extra layer of bacon and and then hey, let's put hot Cheetos on that burger, and this looks amazing, and then you take a bite and you're like, something's off, and with a 19, I'll say you notice this, you plow through it, you still eat it, but it's not going to make you sick, but if you hadn't have already eaten, this would have made you sick.
My lady, I feel that may be a bit off, but
Oh, really? Oh, I'll speak to the chef.
but no need to do that.
Sorry, it's just normally he makes such good egg steam buns. Well, let me know if there's anything else I can get for you.
Perhaps you could assist us. We are looking for someone.
Oh, well, I know someone's.
Now, we've heard rumors of this person, of course, as I'm sure you have as well. And
Legends.
perhaps not real, but perhaps you will know more. We're looking for one Drake Bloodmoon.
No, really. Who are you looking for? Who are you looking for?
Drake
really?
Bloodmoon. No, we really are looking for
Leg.
Drake Bloodmoon. Yes. Bloodmoon.
You're looking for the real Drake Bloodmoon. And
Aye.
as soon as you say that, you see some people behind you. One gentleman with his head down in his hand. He kind of looks up at you, kind of with this one eye that's raised. And then somebody else, another gentleman that's a halfling, that was completely head on the table. And he kind of looks up and he's like, "He's dead!" And the human just kind of kind of shakes his head. She says, "Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know anything about the Drake Bloodmoon. You're right. He's a bit of a legend. No one really knows if he's even real, but I'm sorry I don't have much information, but, well, there is someone that, if he does exist, you might be able to talk to."
Ooh, please, yes.
Well, it's not nearby. It's in sort of the north part of town. It's where my father lives, but I visit him occasionally, and sometimes my dad tries to get me to go to this place because he says it's full of useful information, but it's a bit of a tourist trap, really. You know how it is. It's
Of course.
souvenir shop. It's in the Ogmarion district. Yeah, I said that right. Ogmarion. It's in the Ogmarion district. Where all the libraries and the school is. It's a bit of the how do you do, thank you very much, I'm so smart kind of area of town.
Fancy.
Well, they like to think so, I think. So, head up there, and what you want to look for is, you want to look for Valkara's Finest Emporium. It's a small shop, but it's I think that's what it's called. It's a small shop. It's got souvenir stuff, but the man that runs it knows quite a bit about all sorts of things, and he might be crazy, but he certainly can talk. So he might be able to at least give you some information.
Oh, I thank you. What did you say your name was again?
Oh,
My name?
I forgot to write it down the first time you said it.
Gonmart, right? It's Sybil Birkenhead.
Lady Birkenhead, thank you so much.
She's a human. Brown hair.
May we tell the man who owns this shop that you sent us?
Well, I don't know him. My dad does, but or at least he visits every once in a while. But I don't even know what his name is. Sorry. I just
Would you like us to pay a visit to your father while we're there? Perhaps relay some message.
Well,
Some sort of side quest for a few GP or something.
it's
Or just out of the goodness of our hearts.
it's awfully kind of you. I don't know if my dad might be around. He's in the army. He may be on patrol. He might be training people, but it's possible if you run into him that you might be able to say hi. I suppose. His name is last name is Jumar.
Your father's last name is Jumar.
Yes. Yes. He's my stepdad,
Right.
and I kept my mother's last name. It's a bit of a long story, so I don't want to bore you.
Oh, no worries. I was just making sure that I got the pronoun correct, because he could have referred to the barman who you said, or the owner of the store whose name you said you didn't know.
Correct. Yes.
Now tell me this, Sybil. Do you know anybody that sells cheese around here?
Cheese.
Yes.
Oh.
Goat's milk, sheep's milk, cow's
Well, I mean,
milk.
Have you looked in the market square? I mean, there's. Oh, there was that one. What? I think there's a cart. There might be a dairy cart. It doesn't always show up in the mart, but it might be something to start with. I think at least every other day it shows up. So
Okay, well, look at the map here, and could you maybe put an X on it, right where it...
well, I don't know. I mean, the cart is sort of a first come first serve area, but this is the market, and she puts a little scratch on there and says if it's there today, you want to look for a cart, and I believe it's got a blue trim on it usually.
Yeah, very good. All right, well,
Well,
Melvin?
thank you for coming in, and good luck on your journey.
Why, thank you, my lady.
Fine returns on the day.
She kind of nods her head and continues cleaning, takes your glasses and dishes away, and so where do you guys want to go?
Okay, well, Melvin, first we're going to find this other cheese cart. I just want to see what they're doing down here. You know?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Must scope out the competition and see if it is up to par.
I mean, I've got an aged one that's going to be ready in just a couple days, so I want to get that out as quick as possible.
I have been able to smell it for a week.
It's just getting good, too. Getting real good.
Okay, so you head to the market square, and oh my goodness, you head to this market square, and as soon as you kind of walk through a side alley and you approach this huge market of carts and little tents and cottages, and there's a few houses or buildings that have sort of awnings that cover up other carts and bins with fruit and nuts and meats that are being grilled. And there's a fountain right in the middle that doesn't work, but there are some people that have set up in the fountain and they're like selling fish because apparently, that's where people that sell fish think they should be in a fountain, and that have just recently been caught. The smells are amazing and strong and acrid at the same time. So both of you give me a perception check. There's hundreds of people here. It's very crowded.
17.
19.
Okay. Both of you look around, and within about 1 minute, you see a small wooden cart near some of the fruit stands and carts that are over to your left. And there is a small wooden cart with a blue trim and a blue kind of awning. And there is a tiny humanoid, a halfling, that's standing in front, and he's arranging some things on the cart. This seems to be when a lot of the local markets and the shops are coming to get their supplies for the day. Like everyone's coming and shopping, like restaurants and things like that. They're coming and getting fresh produce. They're coming and getting all of the bread that's been baked all night. And this is kind of like when all of the really good, the people that know, they're going to come and get all this stuff. So that's why it's kind of busy. It's a good time. So you see this little cart, and you want to head on over?
Yes. Right over. Hey there, friend.
Oh, hello. Would you like some cheese?
You said cheese. Now, what kind of cheeses do you have?
Well, I've got all kinds. Hold on. Let me get behind my cart. And he kind of steps back, and there's a little platform that he steps up on. He says, "Hello, welcome to Whisper Mouse's cheese cart. I'm Darrow Whisper Mouse. I've got a few different cheeses today, some fresh and some that have been aged. So I've got a nice Gruyere that's got a whisper of almond milk and nuts. And I've also got a blue cheese, which has been made from goat's milk. And it's got a nice taste to it. There's some aged provolone and some aged cheddar. And this one's got a nice cooking... it pairs well with wine. And I've also got a fine Havarti, if you like that sort of thing.
Would it be possible to taste some of these?
Oh,
Just a
of course.
little. Just a little taste.
He brings out a small marble slate and takes out a wrapped, kind of in cloth, piece of cheese that's light in color, and it's got a little bit of yellow and some flecks of that really good, like, kind of flakiness to it. And he slices off with a sharp dagger, and he hands it to you on the blade. He says, "Oh, try this."
All right, and Theo's gonna take it, and just like a person who's really into wine or spirits, he's gonna kind of like clear a space and like center himself and like smells it really intently, and then puts it in his mouth and kind of moves it all around, and then finally like tastes it and chews it, and like very analytically is trying to process this cheese and think about how it's made and rate its quality. So how does it come across?
I'm gonna roll for cheese.
Okay.
Which is a phrase I've never
Roll for
said
cheese.
before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a D100, and based on the percentage is how good the cheese is. Okay. Okay. Which one did you try?
The Havarti.
The Havarti. Okay. It's pretty old. It's kind of crusty. There's notes that it might have been good, but it's just on the edge of rank.
Theo takes out a small little notebook and begins to kind of write some little notes in there, and yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Well,
So.
okay. All right, that's it.
Oh, you know what? That one might not be as good as I thought. Let me give you another one.
What's your prize cheese? What's your favorite
well,
that you have right now?
It's got to be the aged the aged Popolonin.
Popolonin.
Yes, it's kind of rare, but I only give this to my favorite customers. So let me you can have some of the Popolonin, and he unwraps it, and it's this kind of purple color. It's sort of a purple with yellow stripes, almost marbleized. Kind of interesting. It looks like there's
Ooh, like a wine cheese?
like a berry mixed in.
Ooh.
So
Melbin, who is still shaking off that roll from earlier, it's like, and kind of just like walks a little bit away.
He slices off a little piece, and he gives it to Theo, and he also hands one to.
No, thank you.
All right, and he pops it in his mouth. Goes, every time. It is the best. It is so good. It's got berry and milk, and there's this kind of, it feels like you're tasting the essence of fields of wheat and honey, and it's the best, one of the best cheeses you ever had. I rolled a 90.
Oh. Arrow, right? What was his name?
Darrow.
Darrow.
Whisper Mouse.
Darrow, this is the best cheese I've ever eaten.
Thank you.
Cheese.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well,
This
I
is
only
really
get it
amazing.
about once a month. It's Popolona is a bit of a journey, and my cousin brings it to me amongst some other things, so I don't have too much of it, unfortunately, but we're welcome to enjoy it.
Now, you're selling. Are there cheeses that you're making and putting out here? Or...
Well, the one I make is I have the cheddar, which is normally pretty popular, and I also have this Castorian blue. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but it's quite popular with the fancy folk because it gives them a bit of a buzz.
Well, I better try a bit of that then.
What kind of fungus is in the blue that gives them a buzz?
Well, it's made from the cows that feed around the realm of Castor to the east of here, and their fields apparently are, all. They say it's a bit of a interesting mix of magical grains, which I don't know what that means, but gives it a bit of a punch.
Is that where the mushroom people lived from last season?
Maybe.
Amazing. I love it.
So,
all right,
let's
have it then.
You want to
Yeah.
try the Castorian blue?
Absolutely.
I've never made up so many cheese names.
This is amazing.
Damn you. So,
Damn you.
This is
That's another
D&D.
cheese.
This is D&D. This is cheese and D.
This is cheese and D, baby.
D&D cheese. All right.
D&D cheese and wine.
So Castorian blue. Okay.
You dumb man.
Okay. Rolled an 80.
Ooh, excellent.
So
That's good cheese. Good cheese.
It's pretty good. It's
Good
not,
cheese.
It's not as good as the other one that you tried, but give me 1 second.
Presents, nice.
How's the
Acidic.
nose?
Great. Great. What is it? It's good. It's real good. It's good stuff.
Trying to think of other snobby terms.
Is that a
Cheese is pretty straightforward.
It's a term in wine. I don't know what else.
Right.
Is the body good?
A good chunk to it, yeah.
Does it have a bite?
A bit of a bite. It's nice.
Now,
Now,
Jeff, I would like you to roll a d20.
Gonna die.
12.
Okay. All right. So you, after eating this Castorian Blue, you get the sense that you're really, the master of your own fate. You have a confidence now that you haven't had in a while. I mean, you lost some friends, you had traitors, but for some reason, feeling this cheese on your palate gives you a sense of home. It gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of hope. And you have a extra ability just for the day that you can re-roll one dice once during the day and change your fate.
This is good cheese. This is good cheese. Whoa, Daryl.
It has a bit of
Daryl.
interesting effects, so I've heard it's a little bit different for everyone.
Daryl, would you like to try my cheese?
You make a cheese?
I make cheese.
Oh, you've been holding out. What is your name?
Theo.
Theo.
Oh, but Master Theo, is it ready for consumption by others?
It's a little
Is this
early.
your manservant?
Melbin.
No, I am his apprentice. I study under Master Theo.
Oh,
No, you don't.
right.
We're not. I'm not your teacher. I'm not teaching anything. There's no teaching happening.
And yet I learned so
companion.
much. I learned so much just from
we are
watching
going
you.
together on the same mission.
What is it
But-
that you're what was it that you're teaching him?
Well, I'm not teaching anything. I'm
Oh, the
just-
love of nature and the respect of the plants and the animals and the sun and the sky.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. It seems wonderful. All things to discover things about nature and all that business. So, yeah. Well, I'd love to try your cheese if it's
okay.
ready.
And he out of his puts his bag down and digs around in there and pulls out a brick that has some cloth in it and undoes it, and in there is a piece of cheese, and he similarly takes out a small knife and cuts a little piece off it. He says, it's not quite ready. Needs maybe, I'd say, another couple weeks to really age and get that perfection. So keep that in mind.
Sure,
But
sure.
it'll let you know where it is now.
Well, I like to have mine with a bit of bread if it's all right. So he pulls out a small
Absolutely.
loaf of kind of like a sourdough, and I got this from the cart over there, the bread cart. It's called Loaf Me Alone. It's a bit clever. And so he slices off a little thing and spreads some of the cheese on there. It's a soft cheese, right? Sheep's
Well,
milk cheese.
it's going to be hopefully a little harder in a little bit, but yeah, it's a little
Right.
soft, a
I'll
little
just
spreadable.
spread it, and he takes a bite. Do you want to roll a D100 for me?
Sure.
At the mention of bread, Melbin pales and greens a little bit more. He's still a little upset about that roll from earlier.
70.
70, okay. Yeah, I can see the potential. Yeah. I see what you mean. It does require a little bit more fermentation and maturation, but you've got a winner on your hands. You should consider submitting this to the festival.
A festival?
Well, it's not for another couple weeks, but if you're around town, we have the spring festival, and all sorts of wares and crafts. They open it up to anybody, and there's prizes, money.
Oh, wow. How does one go about signing up for a spring festival? How do I get the information? Is there a
Well-
website or a Twitter?
I don't know. You mean like messenger birds? You'd have to wait until the festival comes into town, and I believe that they kind of manage that sort of thing. So, I just run a cheese cart. Oh, I also sell honey,
Oh,
because honey goes well with cheese sometimes. Would you like some of that, knighted fellow?
Oh yes, perhaps that would help my ailing stomach.
Would you like that on a piece of bread or
No!
just honey bites?
Put it on my finger.
On your finger.
Put it in my hands.
Just a bit.
Put it in my gauntlet hand.
Just put it right in here. I'll lick it
All
off
right,
all
so
day.
he pulls out this small jar, this ceramic jar, and it's got like the stick inside of it, and he's like, "All right, do you want me to just put it over your
Drizzle it
mouth
on.
and-
Oh, that would be wonderful.
That's
Ah.
kind of weird." And he's a halfling, so he has
Yeah.
to like.
So I like get down and
Yeah, you get down, and it's this weird sight of a halfling straining to get above your head, and you're down in this armor, and this tall half-orc shepherd is next to you, just kind of looking, going like this, and other people are like, "What is going on with this cart?" And he's like, "This is a wildflower honey. It's made from some wildflowers and bees that live in the North Plains of Valkara, but I tend to like it quite a bit."
Is it from your own apiary?
No, it's imported,
Oh.
and it's pretty good.
how is it?
It's pretty good. Sweet.
Mmm. Nice. Oh, it's settled the stomach. Thank you, friend Darrow.
No problem.
Well, Daryl, we are here on business, and we're kind of looking for somebody, and I don't know what to make of him, really. You ever heard of Drake Bloodmoon?
I can't say that I have. I don't
All right.
really know. Is that another cheese person?
No, it's not related. It's something else.
Okay, I just wanted to know if I had competition.
No, absolutely not. Hey, we appreciate the samplings. It was really great. Hey, I want to give you a part of this cheese here, and he wants to cut like a good size wedge off of the whole cheese. He says I'd like you to have this. You can sell it or you can enjoy it.
What's the
but-
name? What's the name of your cheese?
Oh, it's Rebecca's Own.
Rebecca's Own. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Theo, was it?
That's right.
All right. Well, hey, if you're ever in this neck of the woods, I'm here on every other day, after Moon Day, and it's wonderful to meet you, and good luck with the cheeses.
Likewise. All right, Melbin, let's hit it.
Let's go.
All right. Any other things that you want to discover in the market or in this area, or are you heading somewhere else? Where do you go? Where would you guys like to go?
I think we're gonna head up to the Ogmarian district to Valkara's finest emporium.
Okay. So, as you're heading up, so the Gonmart is on the south side of the city, and you have to head north through kind of a skinnier part of the Gonmart and towards one of the. You can either take a ferry across the river, which is just 5 silver. It's a pretty common people going across, or you can make your way to the bridge. There's a couple of bridges that cross the river. It's a little bit further, but it'll save you some money. So it just depends on which way you want to go.
Are those the bridges in Little Tormtown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little Tormtown.
I just wanted to say Little Tormtown.
Little Tormtown.
Hello, Knights of the Roll Table listeners. This is me, Chris Daly. It's me. I'm back in the DM seat. Get ready for some silly voices and some ridiculous adventures this season. I hope you like it. First off, Jeff and Zach killed it with seasons 3 and 4. I love being in them. I love playing new characters. But most of all, it's really fun to switch it up and bring different visions of the realms to life. And I hope you've enjoyed them as well. So listen, we love everyone that listens to our show in a we don't know you, but we appreciate you sort of way. But we'd really love you if you could leave a review of the podcast, especially on Apple Podcasts. You can do it Spotify, or you can do Pandora or Podbean or whatever. But the majority of the reviews that will help us are on the Apple Podcast app, and it helps us get seen and heard by others. Leave a 5-star rating if you can. Let us know what characters you like, what seasons you like, what stories you like. We'd really, really appreciate it. Only takes a couple of minutes. You can join us on our Discord server. It's a great place to chat with the cast, see art from the show, maybe learn some pizza recipes or talk about video games. I don't know. And find other listeners. You can search for our Discord community at Roll Table or Knights of the Roll Table. You can also find Knights of the Roll Table using the @RolledTable handle on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We have a TikTok. There's only 2 videos on it, but we're going to start building that up this season as well. We also have a Facebook group if you are into that, and a YouTube where you can listen to many of the episodes on YouTube, because apparently that's a thing. You can follow me, Chris Daly, at Dungeon Heads on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. And I also do D&D art that you can download for free, available on my Patreon, which is also called Dungeon Heads. So be sure to check that out if you want some D&D character art. One thing I want to do this season during these mid-show announcements is just give everybody that's listening other resources, and whether you're a player or a DM. But we're going to start with DMs this time, and I just want to shout out to 2 other podcasts that I listen to all the time and I really enjoy. One of them is called The Dungeon Cast, which is a great show, and it's all about lore and different classes and races and monsters, and it's just really fun and informational and funny, and they go through a lot of good stuff. The other one is called Dungeon Master of None, and it's a little bit more topical with things that are happening in the D&D verse and games, and they do book reviews and campaign reviews, and it's a lot of fun as well, and they also keep it pretty light and funny as well. So be sure to check both of those out. We are not the only D&D actual play podcast out there, and we really honestly thank you so much for listening and giving our little show a chance. I am glad to be back in the DM chair once again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this extra long first episode of the season to kick us off. That's all of our announcements. Now go out and make life an adventure.
Let's go through Little Torm Town.
Yeah, okay, so you head north, kind of, passing Eldath Crossing on the western side, and as you're heading towards the bridges in the sort of peninsula of Little Torm Town on the west side, you see on your left, on your west, the tower, and this is the palace. What you know, Melbin, is the Palace of the High Apostle, and it's a surrounded citadel that is on a higher hill. It's the highest point in the city, and it's pretty adjacent to the coast, but there's still some buildings on the other side of it. It's the city itself is a theocracy, so it's ruled by whoever is kind of like the ruling clergy at the time, like whichever deity has sort of been voted into power, and sort of like the Vatican in a way, like sort of like, except instead of everyone is Catholic, there's all these different religions. So it's been a while since you've been here. The last time that you were here, there was a high priest of Torm was in charge, but every couple of years they have a new vote and someone else is brought into power. And usually when that happens, it starts making changes. So if somebody that worships the god of agriculture, they really focus on the farms. If someone really focuses on the god, if the cleric of war, the high priest of war is voted in, then they really focus on the armies. So it sort of changes the focus of the city, but because of that balance, the city does pretty well, and they tend to stay pretty well rounded. No one religion stays in power, but there's a lot of religions in the city.
See, this is what happens if you don't have a 2-religion system. I like this.
Yeah. They have runoff elections. It's great.
Yeah,
This is what I've been pushing for.
So you head your way up towards the Ogmarian district, and this is based on Ogma, the goddess of knowledge. This is a community which seems older than most of the areas in the cities. It's an older but respected area of Valentrell. It's a community of thinkers, writers, people that are relatively quiet. A vast difference from where you just were in the Gone Mart. These are not partiers, but they're not necessarily like hard workers. They are hard workers of the mind. And most of the buildings here are small cottages, small houses. There's one particularly large stone building towards the center of this Ogmarian district, which you know, Melbin, is the library, which is it's a good place for knowledge if you need to find things. It's not particularly a place that you needed to go very much as the City Watch, because this part of town, there wasn't a whole lot of criminal activity, to be honest. So
the Celius in me wants to go there, but the Matt, and so does the Matt in me. But I don't think Melbin and Theo would have any interest.
Yeah. So you head your way towards Valkara's finest emporium, and let's see. Hold on a sec.
Well, I mean, at least it's quiet here. A little more subdued.
Yeah. There's a couple of birds chirping, some seagulls that you hear, because it's still kind of near the edge of near the sea.
Oh, never mind. Ay, ay, ay. This is unbearable.
Yeah, they don't sound too welcoming, but seagulls are jerks, let's be honest.
They are. They are the worst
theme
bird.
of this campaign is seagulls are jerks, by the way. Your big bad is going to be a giant, dire seagull.
Oh, no.
Just gonna
riding on the back of another seagull.
Yeah. An elder brain seagull. I'm going to destroy all of you. Bah, bah. Oh. Okay.
I'm gonna eat your lunch out of your bag on the bench.
Not my churro, no!
Okay. Settle down. All right. So Valkara's finest emporium. This is as soon as you see it, it's in between, nestled in a smaller bookstore and what looks like a cigar shop. And so it's this small kind of sign that says Valkara's finest emporium, and it has a whale underneath it, and it's a small door which goes into a very small shop. And you open the door and you hear this ding a ding ding ding, and then you hear somebody from inside. There are stacks of books and tchotchke and boxes that are elaborately decorated. So there's a lot of things that have dust on them. There's little statuettes. There's little what looks like ornate globes that are lining the shelves. There's a couple of parchments that are rolled up in various pots that have labels like interest and food and cooking and magic and things like that.
Live, laugh, love.
And flowers and things like that.
Would you describe this place as kitschy?
Oh yeah, it's very kitschy. It's very made for touristy, but almost to the point like an ABC store in Hawaii is. It's like, look at all this cool stuff. Do you need a towel? Do you need a binoculars? Do you need it's just all this random stuff. It's not one particular category. So from behind all of the clutter, somewhere in the back, and this shop goes on for a bit, you hear, "I'll be right there."
Well, take your time.
We'll browse.
Hey, I gotta get one of these little Massimo Lionheart figures.
Oh, he's the worst.
There's a Massimo Lionheart figure, and his arm is broken off.
Well, maybe he'll give me a discount on it.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, the figures of note.
There's we'll roll a roll an investigation check.
Okay.
We'll see if you find what you find that's interesting here.
16.
Okay. What are you looking at? Are you looking at books? Are you looking at maps? Are you looking at
Little tchotchkes or little like made, like if it looks like it's handmade or kind of a crafty little trinket.
Okay.
That would be kind of interesting to him.
You see a lot of little statue things. Like there's some like mug holders. There's a lot of handcrafted wooden and some maybe ceramic, maybe stone or steel, or not steel, but metal tankards and pint glasses. Nothing glass. It's all hardier hard material. The glasses and the cups have things like Valkara, visit beautiful Valentrell. One of them says, you've never lived unless you've Valentrelled or something like that. And
perfect. I think I like this one.
you've never lived unless you Valentrelled.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that one.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah,
and
it's great.
And then Melbin, do you want to look around at anything, or are you just kind of waiting for the guy?
Sure. Yeah, I'll look around.
Roll an investigation.
I don't know what he would look at. 11 plus 3. Yeah, 14.
What's he looking at?
He would look at. You said there's like everything there, right?
Yeah, books, clothing.
He'll look at the clothes.
The clothes? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a hoodie.
There's some tunics. There's some leather gloves. There's a nice scarf that looks like it's some sort of what looks like silk but feels like burlap. It's kind of disappointing. There is a handkerchief that says embroidered. It says "Enjoy the Knights of the Realm," but it's NIGHTS.
Theo, look
you
at
think
this.
It's sort of an inside joke of like the legend of the Knights of the Realm, and being a Knight of the Realm that you secretly are, you find this kind of funny.
I think you're gonna need to get that too. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And then from behind you,
Raleigh would have liked this. It's too bad they were a big traitor. And Corbair.
We still don't know what happened. They attacked. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, well, if I see him again, I'm gonna rip him up and tear him apart.
I think only Rayla? What was the name?
Raleigh.
I think only Raleigh survived. I think Corbair
Corbair died because Anastasia managed to kill him.
That's right.
But Raleigh.
If we see her again.
And from behind you, you hear, "See you again."
Ah!
Huh?
What?
And you turn around and you see this old, grizzled human with a long, yellow beard and balding on top with thick spectacles. And he kind of goes, "Oh, that's a nice handkerchief. You might. It's 5 silver. What? Would you guys like to hear? Are you looking for anything in particular, or would you like to hear a legend of the Knights of the Realm?"
Oh, yes. I would love to hear a story.
We're very interested.
So you're not looking for anything in particular?
We are looking for someone in particular, but I would like to hear your story first.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're gonna need
okay.
that story.
Well,
What did you say the handkerchief said again?
it said, "Enjoy the Knights of the Realm."
That's right.
Enjoy the nights.
I love
All right, so he says, this old man says, and he's got a kind of a white leather vest, sleeveless vest, with a blue silk undershirt that kind of hangs below his belt. He's got a thick leather belt, some breeches on, and a lot of bangles around his wrist. And every time he raises his arms, he goes, shh. And he's like, well, let me tell you about a story. Hundreds of years ago, the first evil came to these lands. Not just Valkara, mind you, but to everywhere in the realms. And the first good warrior held up their axe. It was an axe. And they held it up and said, I will stand against this evil, this foul menace. Who is with me? And no one stood up with him. He went off alone to fight against the evil that was plaguing the lands. His name, I forgot his name, but he was a legend among men. And he went off to fight an evil, someone that said that they would take over the lands, use their foul evilness to rid all of the good, and be the ruler of this land because they could not rule their own land. And that name, the evil, was known as what was it?
Oh, get on with it.
Well, I'm trying to remember, but it's a very old tale, and let me see. I have the book somewhere. It says, where is that book? I don't know. Well, anyway, he wasn't successful, but he provided so much motivation as he journeyed around the realms that other people joined him. And that, my young friends, is how the Knights of the Realms were started. Ordinary people like yourselves stood up against great evil. Yes, I see the doubt in your eyes.
Yeah,
but
when he said like us, like I imagine that we kind of like gave one of those like look at each other.
Yeah, and as soon as, if you do that, he kind of just looks at you like, oh yes, very much. Any one of you could be a knight. I could be a knight, and you wouldn't know. But
how would one know if one was a knight?
Well, the knights are able to communicate with each other psychically, you see. And then on the inside of their tongue, they've got a tattoo. And when they lift up their tongue like this, and he like goes, and it kind of shows you the underside of his tongue. It's said to have a glowing snake head, the symbol of the knights. Also, some of them can breathe fire. That's a sort of a higher ability. Anyway, what is it that you're looking for today?
Well, I would love to buy this festive handkerchief.
Oh, yes, it's a
Very
good one.
punny.
Yes. You know, that's not how knights is spelled. It's actually K-N-I.
Ooh, I do know. That's why it made me laugh. Ha ha ha!
It's a hearty laugh you have.
Made myself laugh.
We enjoy a good laugh.
That's a good one.
But we do seek. What is your name, caretaker?
Melbin, just real quick.
One moment.
I mean, do you think this guy's gonna know anything? I mean, like he can't even remember one or two names. Think he's gonna actually? What is he gonna tell us?
Well, perhaps we won't know until we ask him.
All right,
stop doing
I
that.
think
That's Yoda every time I do that.
yes.
Yes.
Well, okay. Let's just take everything he says with a grain of salt, okay?
Okay.
My name is Julius Plumbo.
Hello, Julius Plumbo. Do you know, Mr. Jumar?
I think it was Jamar. Was he a general? Was it General Jamar?
General Jumar. Oh, yes, well, he comes in here every once in a while. I haven't seen him lately. Probably off training the troops as they were, you know.
We ran into his daughter earlier, and she said that you may be a very knowledgeable sort, and we are seeking a legend.
How's that?
Well, you've heard, of course,
You're
of...
seeking a badger?
No, a legend!
There's a badger on the north side of the realm.
No,
A
you don't
giant-
understand. We're looking for a person, a legendary person.
Oh, a legendary person. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Named Drake Bloodmoon. Huh?
Drake Bloodmoon. Hey, Drake Bloodmoon is a myth. I've got Drake Bloodmoon merchandise though. There's a couple of things. There's
Well,
this banner that has Drake Bloodmoon. It's got like this silhouette of a humanoid. It's wearing a hat, like, and it doesn't really look like anyone in particular. It's kind of like a stick figure with a hat on, and it's like Drake Bloodmoon in Valentrell, you know, and then he's got like this. Oh wait, hold on. There's a brochure somewhere that says the legend, and he looks through a couple of scrolls. Drake Bloodmoon was said to have been here hundreds of years ago, although there have been sightings as recently as 2 years ago. Someone said that he was able to rid all of the Undercity of all of its rat problems. And then also, some people said that the last time the army went out to fight one of the northern armies, in a dispute over the land, they said Drake Bloodmoon came along disguised as a soldier and was able to trick the northern armies into running away. I don't know him personally, but
If such a myth were not a myth,
He
and
continues
were
to
in
look.
fact alive, where might we find such a man? Or woman?
well, if Drake Bloodmoon,
And he kind of leans in close and he says,
such a man exists, he wouldn't be in this part of Valentrell.
What part you suppose
leans
he'd be
back.
in?
and he kind of lifts up his hand and he points down. And he kind of nudges down a couple. He kind of points down. He's like,
He lives in the place without sunlight, but with brightness.
Can I what? So
You-
Matt, has inferred
Yes.
that this is probably the Undercity. Would Melbin have inferred that?
Melbin knows, but has never been of a place that the city guard was not allowed to go unless they were specifically ordered to. But he was never sent there in his 1 year on the city watch, which is known as Subterra. And Subterra is a complete civilization, a city underneath the city of Valentrell. It's supposedly full of people that deal in shady establishments and shady dealings, and the agreed upon unspoken contract between the Subterrans and the people that live on the Valentrell city proper is that we won't mess with you, you don't mess with us. But if you come up here, you're going to be arrested. And if we go down there, we're going to be killed. So it's this sort of they exist in a cohesive state because they don't mess with each other.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
What
That
do you think I'm saying?
Drake Bloodmoon is in Subterra?
Shh, don't say that out loud. The guards will hear you.
I tried to whisper, but I don't know how to whisper in this voice.
Say what?
Subterra!
Listen, I'm not a great... I don't have ears very well. I don't know where he lives. I don't know who he is or where he is. Like I said, and for all I know, he's probably dead. I'm 87 years old, young man. And I've been around for a while, but I've never seen anyone who claims to even know Drake Bloodmoon. Why are you seeking this man?
We are honoring a friend's dying wish.
A friend's dying wish was for you to seek out a legend? Pish posh. What kind of a friend has such a ridiculous request?
Now look, we don't know what the meaning was, but all we know is that she wasn't messing around when she said it. And so there's got to be something to it.
Well, what's
Now,
her name then?
Anastasia.
Both of you make an insight check.
Insight. Oh. 15.
24.
All right. Theo, you notice as soon as you say Anastasia, his eyebrow twitches. It's you've almost taken him off guard with that name, and he says, "Well, I still think it's an odd request."
It is. But we must do it. For we owe her.
Listen, if I find out something, and only if I find out something, I might be able to let you know. I know people who know things. And...
Well, you must really know then that the knights don't really have tattoos under their tongue then. That's just something you're saying for the tourists, isn't it?
Well, I've heard that they have a tattoo on their tongue, but I don't know if it's true. I've never actually met a knight. So, but listen, where are you staying? Maybe I can, if I find out anything, I can send word. And are you staying in the city? Or are you staying in Subterra?
We are staying in the city. We are staying in...
And if you want to interrupt me, now would be the time. But otherwise, he's going to keep talking because Melbin's oblivious.
We are staying in the inn known as the Weeping Wyvern Inn.
Oh, yes. Yes, Lassie's place. Oh, yes.
Yes!
She's a wonderful lady. I've been there on many occasions, and she's a nice person.
Yes.
You get the sense that this guy knows, like, all kinds of people all over town.
Well then, Julius, let me be shaking your hand because it's so nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. Well, it's nice to meet you, too. And what were your names?
Theo.
Theo.
And this is Melbin.
Yes, I am Melbin Gelrod.
You're quite shiny, young man.
Oh, thank you.
You look familiar. Do I know you? Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I have passed this way through the city before. Perhaps you have seen me.
Yes. Maybe.
Also, I just have one of those faces.
You certainly do have one of those faces. So he shakes your hand, Theo, and
when I grip his hand, I want to pull up his sleeve and all the bangles in the same spot where I know that the knight's tattoo is.
Are you
just
doing
to
this
see if...
forcibly, or are you doing this...
Yeah, he's an 87-year-old man. I'm not too worried about it, so...
Okay. So you pull up his sleeve, and Bangles go, shh, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's no tattoo.
Oh, just some nice bangles. I wanted to
My
see
eczema
if I
is... I like to keep my skin covered. Dry skin, you know.
You might need some extra protection then. You know, if you're just in here, you need some extra protection to help you out. That's all I was trying to do. Okay, well, I think that's it, Melbin. Yeah, my plan there didn't really work out, but
Just for funsies, I'd like to open. I would like to use divine sense,
Okay.
to know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me. Just that is not behind total cover. Just to see if there's anything weird going on.
Within 60 feet?
Yeah. So basically, it would be him.
Yeah, sure. You don't sense anything unusual. You do get a faint residual celestial effect from something on the shelf, but not from him.
I'll go over and investigate in that area, see if I can figure out what it is.
Okay. Following your divine sense, you see this is where the carvings are, and you see a small carving of a dolphin. Looks not terribly impressive. It looks like it's carved out of wood. It's not painted. It's kind of roughly chiseled to the shape of a dolphin popping out of the water.
This is truly a carpenter's dolphin, not one of these fancy ones. Sorry, I went down an Indiana Jones rabbit hole. Cool. Yeah, I'll pick that up and take a look at it and say,
How much for the dolphin?
That one, let's see, that one's only 5 silver. I didn't make it. Sometimes I find things, sometimes people drop things off. Sometimes I collect things when I go on my journey every couple years and bring things back from other lands. That one I brought back from a place on the other side of the sea. I don't know if you've ever been on outside of this continent before, but
No, I have not.
there are many places in the realms, you know.
Well,
whereabout was that from?
Well, I'll tell you in 1 second. Sorry.
You know what's interesting? I didn't grow up with much of going outside my own tribe there, so knowing about all this stuff is pretty interesting.
Oh, well, this particular dolphin came from a realm in the Omari continent known as the Zolor Spiral. It's a series of islands that winds around itself north of here.
the Zolor Spiral?
Zolor Spiral. It's quite beautiful, but hard to get to the center, if you know what I mean. It's hard to navigate. You have to travel either roundabout way on boat. By the time you get there, you have to make your way back for supplies. But
only we had a flying boat of some sort.
well, those sort of things.
Yeah.
You know, I do know of a flying boat. The legend says that in Marcatia they have a technology that allows for flying shoes.
Ooh, amazing.
Oh, yes.
Flying shoes so you could fly around.
Oh, yes. Flying boots, flying shoes. Some sort of dust that you sprinkle on yourself. That's what I've heard.
You are a font of interesting rumors, friend Julius.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
If you hear of more interesting things, or if you do find the location of Mr. Blood Moon, please do let us know. In the meantime, I would like to purchase
These, and I'll hold up the handkerchief and the dolphin.
So, yes, that would be 10 silver or 1 gold, however you like.
Here is a gold. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Of course.
And interesting storytelling.
I would be careful if I were you asking around for Drake Blood Moon. Some people, especially the The ruling clergy don't like those kind of rumors. It might draw the wrong attention. And if the legends are true, if you're really looking for Drake Bloodmoon, he'll find you before you find him. Well, goodbye. He just kind of goes back to work.
Thank you for the warning. We shall see you again, friend Julius.
So, you just left Valkara's finest emporium, and I'd say at this point, it's about, after making your way there and getting some lunch, it's midday, like around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So, what would you guys like to do? You're in the upper area of the city in Ogmarian district.
Melvin, I don't know about that Julius. I think he might have known something else about Anastasia or something. He just had a reaction to that name. It's kind of weird.
About Anastasia? What sort of reaction? I didn't notice.
I don't know. It just seemed like he reacted. I was kind of thinking maybe he was a knight too, but I guess he wasn't. It's hard to tell.
Perhaps he is from a different time of knights, and his tattoo was on his tongue.
Oh, that'd be real weird.
Can't we hide the tattoos? I feel
You
like I
can,
remember.
yeah. You have the ability to hide them, as established in season 4. You can choose to show them to other knights, or not.
Perhaps his tattoo was hidden. Perhaps it was on his other arm. Perhaps he is just a crazy old man.
Well, that makes me think like maybe we shouldn't be listening, going to this. What was it called? Subterranean?
Subterra.
Subterra. I don't know.
Subterra.
Says it loud then. Oh.
There's a... yeah, that's fine. I was like, a couple of people looked and... Seize them! No.
Would Melbin know? Would I know how to get to Subterra? Because I know I wasn't supposed to go there, but would I know how to get there?
Yeah, so make... what would this be? It's not so much of a history as like what... make a general...
I mean, would it fall under the, whatever that thing was, the Watcher's Eye thing, since it's a den of criminal activity?
Well, it's not so much the den, it's like if you would be given access to like know where to go.
Or like geography or navigation type thing.
I would say make a general intelligence check.
8.
Um
He's reasonably smart. I just rolled poorly.
So what I will say is that there is at least one, if not two, locations to get to Subterra within the city.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where they are.
Okay.
You just know that some people higher than your pay grade were able to go there if the situation arose where they had to go there. But from what you heard from like some other people on your watch, when somebody mentioned Subterra, they were like, well, don't worry about that. We don't go there. They take care of their own. We take care of us.
Theo wants to, if we can get back to where that river and the bridges were, he'd like to be looking for, maybe seeing if there are like some rats or some little holes or some, to kind of watch and see if there's any tail of animals coming and going into a place where, like if there's a bunch of birds, a bunch of pigeons flying into one place and like they're not coming out, or if like there's a bunch of rats coming in and out of one area, and see if he can kind of like observe just the animal patterns in this area to see if there's something like along the river to get in there somehow.
So there's 3 bridges that cover the the Eldath River. Or sorry, not the Eldath River. Geography. Oh, the Rune River.
Mm.
Rune. The Rune River. So yeah, do you want to look at the first bridge, the second bridge, or the one in Eldath Crossing?
Let's look at the same one that we had already crossed.
Okay, that's the first bridge, like the one
The
that's
first
near the
bridge,
eye
yeah.
in Little Tormtown on the map.
And he'll take some time to, scope it out.
Okay, how long do you want to spend there?
Like 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Theo's
pretty patient.
Go ahead and roll I'd say I'll give you a choice of animal handling or nature.
Animal handling for sure. 18.
Not really animal handling, but because you're a druid, I will let you explore that. As far as animals, there's not a lot. You do notice a couple of birds, some seagulls. Again, there are
These seagulls are out of control.
There are some ducks that are along the river. And you do actually notice a fish or two kind of swimming by underneath because you have decent sense of like there's fish. Not that you can tell within 15 minutes. You don't see any rats, and you don't see any birds fly under the bridge and not come out or anything like that. You can spend longer if you want. You might be able to notice something. But
Well, I don't know, Melvin. Maybe you want to. Maybe there's no guard that you could talk to.
Yes, we could do that. We could go talk to my former sergeant. Perhaps he would know. If they would still talk to me after abandoning my post to go gallivant around the world.
Okay, well maybe that's not a smart move then. If they're.
And he said it's he just quit.
Oh,
no,
okay.
You put in your resignation.
Yeah.
It
I gave my 2 weeks.
It was
Good.
graceful.
2 weeks. Okay. All right.
I'm sure they won't hold that against me. I gave all due notice.
But you said this is an illegal place, like we shouldn't be there.
Yes. A hive
Then-
of scum and villainy.
Oh boy.
Maybe we keep to go back to the market and ask some questions around there about getting in.
So Melbin, I'll give you some information. The City Watch was based in Little Tormtown, towards the center, on the north side. So not crossing the river, but kind of in the middle. Is sort of the local branch of the City Watch is there. That's probably where the office, at least the training facility or the offices would be for the City Watch. You guys had the City Watch also had beats or like places they would patrol all around the city. So as far as like co-workers, they could be anywhere. You've seen some City Watch people, but as you've been looking, they don't look particularly familiar.
Right.
A couple of them have given you a little side eye, but it's not unusual to have adventurers or people in armor in the city walking by, especially clerics and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we've been gone for...
You've been gone for at least 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. Okay, yeah. So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go to the City Watch headquarters and ask. We could go to the library and read a book. See if it has information. We could go to the Palace of the High Apostle.
Is that what that says?
Yeah, it's the Palace of the High Apostle. That is... You don't go there unless you have an invitation.
Right.
It's
We could go-
heavily guarded.
Okay, so we probably wouldn't go.
We could go talk to the clergy around the Palace of the High Apostle and see if they know. Although
Well-
friend Julius did warn us that we should
Yeah.
avoid them.
Yeah.
But perhaps they would know.
Maybe
I could pray.
You know what? Let's have a little pray and a little communing with spirits. That might be a good thing to do.
Oh, Eldath,
Okay,
goddess
but not
of the
here.
green.
All right, okay. But not
A
here.
couple of people look at you like, oh boy, it's one of those.
Perhaps we could find some nature for us to commune in.
Well,
There
let's-
there
Is
is
that park?
Vineyard Springs, which is a nice upper rent area, but they have a couple of like tree groves and things like that. And then there's also Shantea Park, which is south of Haberdash. It's on the other side, next to the Gone Mart, but it's basically a giant park, like a central park. But it's right near the river. And
Yeah, I feel like
you can make it there in about less than an hour on foot.
we should go there.
let's head there. And on the way, Theo wants to look for maybe any like ruffians, people wearing dark hoods.
Okay, in the
that-
middle of the day.
Yeah, in the middle of the day, like he doesn't know how it works,
Sure,
but he's
sure.
just like
Okay.
looking around.
Make a perception check.
22.
Oh dang. You make your way south towards Shantia Park. You go, along the road in Eldath Crossing. You're starting to pass the Gone Mart. As you're crossing in between the Gone Mart and an area called Haberdash, Theo, you notice someone. You think you notice someone following you, wearing a dark, not cloak, but they're wearing a dark suit, like a winter's coat or like a spring coat. And as soon as you turn around, they're gone.
I'll say, Melvin, you stay behind me. I think somebody's following me. So I'm gonna keep walking ahead. You see if you find somebody, and then if you see him, then jump on him, and I'll turn around and jump on him too.
Okay.
Okay, but you need to keep your voice lower, not so loud.
More people
Okay.
look over towards Melbin, just like,
Okay, just
Hello, fellow citizens.
stop, Melvin. Okay, keep walking for 5 minutes, and then we'll do the plan. Okay, we're gonna be quiet the whole way, no talking.
So I'll watch Theo's back, and then when we
Uh-huh.
walk a little bit further, I'll kind of hang
Okay.
back a little bit. If I do detect somebody and they're like a distance away, well, I guess I can only go 30 feet. But if it makes any sense to, I will use Misty Step to try to get like onto the other side of them.
okay. Theo, I would like you to make a deception check, and Melbin, I would like you to make a performance check with disadvantage.
Oh no!
Oh, hello, everyone.
I rolled really well there. 20, dirty 20.
I got a 6 on my deception.
Okay. So Melbin, so Theo, a kind of oddly sticking out half-orc shepherd, walking down the street, trying to look inconspicuous with a big stick, and he's like, and as you're trying to not look conspicuous, you end up sticking out more, but Melbin is really being cautious and looking around, and you don't see anybody that looks like they're following him, other than there are a lot of people looking at like, what's this guy doing? And then you even see one shopkeeper near a produce cart go over to one of the city guard and start whispering something.
Friend, Master Theo, perhaps we should.
Well, you're like
Oh, that's right. I moved
you're like
behind him.
200 feet behind him.
I forgot I did that. Yes, you're right. Never mind. I will just keep a closer eye on him.
The city guard looks at Theo and heads over towards him.
I'm gonna edge up a little closer as that happens, so I can be
All right.
within protection distance.
Theo, are you walking at a normal pace, or
Based on his terrible deception, he's probably like walking like quickly, but with really small steps now. So it's like, like really making himself even
city
more.
guard picks up the pace and he's like, "You there, with the cane?
Oh,
Stop!
is that
Why
is
are
that
you
me?
Why are you walking funny?"
What do you mean? This is how it normally walk.
Where you from? What's your business in Valentrell?
Oh, my business is finance, and I am here for a financing conference.
Make a deception check with
Well,
disadvantage.
okay. Okay, 3.
Okay,
3 is
Melbin. At this point, you're catching up to this scene.
he's
Like,
just like sweating
why-
bullets. Like I don't think
Yes.
he's ever really faced off with a city
something
guard.
tells me you're not in. Gosh, I completely forgot what his accent was.
More or less that.
Something tells me you're not in finance.
Oh, I'm fine arts is what I
Fine
said.
arts.
Fine arts. Yeah, the art of sculptures. Like a
Oh,
sculpted
Theo,
piece.
my boy, there you are.
Oh, Melbin. Yes. You can tell him that we were just here for doing business in the fine arts.
Yes, in the fine arts, because of course we enjoy looking at the art. Finest, or the roughest, whatever makes people happy. But Theo, why did you wander off? We were to adventure together. Back. Hey there,
Do I know him?
You notice.
pal.
Hey, friend.
Hey.
Hey, pal.
Partner?
You notice this is a familiar guard that you've worked with. You're not particularly friends with him, but he was in your, in your vicinity several times when you were on City Watch. You think his name might be Jeremy or Jarny or Jorn.
Hey, Big J, how's it going?
It's fine, Melbin. When did you get into town?
Oh, we've been
I
here
thought
less.
you left.
I did, but I am back here visiting, and I've brought my friend to
Oh.
see the sights. He's never been to such a big city.
Right. I don't know if you remember me. It's Jeremy.
Yes, Big J, that's what I said.
Right. I just started when you left. Yeah. Well, sorry. Sorry. Your friend just kind of caught a few people off guard, but but,
Yes,
it-
the profiling
with
of profiling of other races and nations is very common in the city guard. I understand.
well, we gotta stay alert about different things. I mean, you know how it is.
I will-
I don't know if you're still doing guard work or
I am doing good work,
right.
and I can personally vouch for Theo. He has shown me the ways of goodness throughout the lands.
Yeah. You can tell there's a little, suspiciousness, based on what Theo has presented. No, it doesn't seem inherently like he's against half-orcs. He just could tell that Theo was not really telling
It's
the
like
truth.
you're not from around here. And then
Yeah,
you
it's
lied to me.
just
Yeah.
what's your deal, buddy? But he's like, all right, well, if you know him, it's fine. Where are you hanging out? Are you just passing through? Or?
Oh, we're staying at an inn in Eldritch Crossing and
Oh, good, yeah.
looking
Well,
around.
Hey, weren't you close with
with a couple of the other people in the watch. I mean, I don't know if you want to catch up with anybody, but there's still a lot of us, working.
Oh, I haven't seen anyone that I recognize other than you, Big J.
No one really calls me that.
I do.
Anymore.
You've always seemed like a Big J to me.
I'm kind of.
You seem like a big J.
I'm kind of a small guy. I mean.
That's the reason I call you that. It's a joke.
Oh, okay. It's a
Opposite.
Like calling
sort of
someone
like- yeah, it's
tiny.
a joke. I got it. I got you. Listen. Well, I mean, Robert's in charge now. I mean, he's one of the supervisors. You remember Robert?
Yes,
So
of course.
He's one of the supervisors of the City Watch and got promotion. And Danielle, he mostly hangs out in the Vineyard Springs. He's doing pretty well. I think you guys were pals. I mean, I don't know who you were friends with because I wasn't part of your.
Well,
hangout.
we were
You can
all
tell
more-
that Jeremy is
co-workers.
kind of like he was very admiring anyone. He was one of those guys that like when he comes into work, he just like finds out as much as he can about like other people and like, hey guys, how's it going? Like, what are we talking about today? Like, he's just super enthusiastic. So he surprisingly kind of knows who you were hanging out with, but you didn't know much about him.
Right.
And since then, he's kind of, gained a little bit of a background. So, all right, well,
Before you
sh-
go, Jeremy, tell me, what news of the city have you heard? It's been a few years since I've been this way. What has
I mean,
become
honestly,
of the place?
it's pretty. Our job has gotten kind of easy. I mean, ever since the latest high priest took over. I mean, it's the Church of Avaros is doing most of the dirty work.
How's that?
Well, he's got his own like enforcers now. The purifiers. They hunt out all of the people that are causing trouble. Anybody from down under. They come up, purifiers snatch them away. So
Oh, they must
we
be
haven't-
they must be guarding all of the entrances to down there.
well, no, I don't know. I don't know where the entrances are or anything, but no one's guarding anything. But it's more like our crime is down, trade is up. I mean, things are actually better than they have been ever since the High Priest took over. Like, everybody seems to be, singing his praises, so to speak. So we're just, making sure we just handle little disputes now. We don't really take care of any criminal activity.
Well, I hope the pay is still the same or better.
Oh yeah, actually, they pay us. They pay us to take time off. We only work 4 days a week now.
That sounds like a nice deal. Perhaps I would have
Yeah.
stuck around had that been the case when I was here.
Yeah, when you were here, it was a little harder, I guess. But I mean, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I just kind of mind my own business. Keep an eye on things, people that are suspicious, and he inadvertently looks over at Theo, just not meaning to. Like,
Now,
but there's all kinds of people.
And right here.
I mean, you seem really interesting. Sorry.
Have you
I-
seen many people from
And he looks around.
down there that the purifiers have taken? Have you witnessed such an action? I haven't seen these
He
purifiers.
kind of looks around too, and he's like, not in person, but I overheard a conversation that Robert was having with somebody else, maybe a purifier, maybe somebody else on the High Council of clerics, but he said that he was trying to say like, you're not letting us do what we're good at, and the other person said, don't worry about it. We've got under control or something. Like we'll take care of them. I don't know, something about job titles and things like that. I didn't see anybody, but we know they're out there. I mean, you can't do magic in town anymore.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, it kind of makes it easier. I mean, like anybody caught doing magic, they're immediately sensed. See those little and he kind of points up to the kind of where little gas lamps would be, like little lights that would be lit at night, lanterns. So he points those out, and on every one of them, there's like a little metal ornate owl, and they're spread out, 50 feet or so. And on every one of them, there's this little owl, and it's like those things, right clever. Those are, they're able to like, I don't know how, but anybody tries to do magic, they can't. But if you try to do it, if you're not indoors, you just get like, they come and find you. Every once in a while, we get a ping and they let us know, like, hey, you should go check this out. Most of the time, it's just some kid who's a sorcerer, who's got his powers, or like some old person who forget they can't do magic because they're used to doing it before. But no one seems to be causing trouble. There aren't any arcane injuries anymore.
Well, what about like a healing spell or something?
Oh,
People
well,
can
if
still cast healing.
If you're a cleric or a paladin of Avaros or of another church, and you have a permit, you can still do stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, clerics.
How does one obtain a permit?
Well, you're granted one by the high priest. I mean, the church of the high priest, the church of Avaros. But I guess you have to sort of be a worshipper of that, I don't know much about them or, where they came from, but...
What do these purifiers look like? Are they in a uniform, or are they undercover?
I've never really seen one.
Undercover it is.
Yeah, I think that's how they get to places so well, is because they they could look like anybody, really. Or maybe they hide in the shadows, or maybe they like, blend in, or maybe they're invisible.
Ooh.
I really don't know.
Or maybe they sneak through the underground.
I mean, I don't know. You get the sense he doesn't really know. He's heard a lot of rumors, but
Right.
he's kind of new on the force. So,
Well, friend Jeremy, it was wonderful to see you again, and
yeah,
perhaps
sure.
we could
Sure,
catch
sure.
up, have a drink, or a meal together. We are staying at the Weeping Wyvern Inn, if you wish to join us.
maybe I will. I'll talk to some of the other guys and see if anybody remembers you. I'm sure they do. That maybe they can. We can come find you for a drink.
Oh yes, that would be quite enjoyable.
All right. Well, cheers. Cheers, Mr. Bye.
Bye, Big Jeremy.
Returns on the day.
So he walks away, and so are you guys gonna head towards the park still?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you make your way for the park. I'll say, like, for the better part of the afternoon, you have some relaxing time. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do at Shantia Park? You said, like, just hang out in nature and relax and.
I'll pray to Shantia, the Green Mother, Green Goddess.
Okay.
Who is one of my one of the three, like, naturey goddesses that I happen to like.
Make a religion check.
15.
15. This seems like a peaceful area of town, and you get a sense of calm. And yet you sense that as the afternoon gets later, you feel a cold breeze coming in from seemingly out of nowhere. It's blowing some leaves, and then it goes away.
But I can't tell where that was localized.
No, it's more just in the air.
Did you feel that, Theo?
Yes, maybe a storm's blowing in or something. I hope not.
It's getting a little darker as the sun's going down on the ocean and setting in the west. And some of the Gondmart shops and carts are closing up. You guys can grab some dinner if you'd like at a tavern or one of the shops before it closes up, or you can head back to the inn if you'd like. How would you like to close out the evening?
I'm trying to see if I have anything I want to do in any of my... The only thing I might conceivably do, and I think he'd probably avoid this based on the owls, is Divine Sense again in the park. But probably, given the warning I just got from Jeremy, I don't think he would do that. Yeah, we'll say he doesn't.
And did you know about the magics going on?
No, this is the first I heard of it.
I think
That's new to you.
That seems pretty extreme to me. Magic does a lot of good.
It's how I commune. It's how I show my worship. It's how I live out my oath.
Yes, so something's not good around here. Let's head through the market again, and maybe we can find somebody else who could guide us into that Subterra place. Or do you think we should talk to Robert?
I think Robert may be a good person to talk to. Perhaps we could also go get me a permit to cast magic.
All right.
It's kind of close of the end of the business day, so
Tomorrow.
And the City Watch, everybody is changing shifts, and Robert being a supervisor, which Jeremy said
He has that
was,
good
is
day shift.
probably not. Yeah, he's more of a day shift kind of guy. Or supervisors would be, so that'd be a good thing to do tomorrow. But yeah, you can definitely make your way through the Gone Market again. You want to. There's only a few carts, and they're all closing up that are left. There's a seller of pork. There is someone that's selling silks and scarves, and there is someone that has a permanent shop over on the left that sells looks like apples and oranges and things like that.
pick up a couple snacks, have a light meal at home.
Yeah, you can easily
Just a
pick
quiet night in.
You could pick up whenever you rent a movie. There's a
Yeah,
on the coin.
just you know.
Yeah, you guys can get some pork and some apples, and you take it back and take out bag, and you head your way back. You talk to I'll just say for the sake of time, you talk to a few more people. Still, not much. Like they're like, Subterra, no, you don't want to go there, or like they're like, get out of here, man. Do you want to buy pork or not? Like no one's really. No, everyone seems like they just want to kind of mind their own business, and they don't, they're just like, are you going to buy something? Or, especially towards when the night crowd starts coming out and everybody's done with their day shifts of working and everything, they just want to drink. They just want to go out and, vent about the day and not go home to the kids and stuff like that. But you also get the sense that kind of based on now that Jeremy said, like, everything seems to be okay, like, people are generally seeming very well behaved, and they're not like suspiciously nervous, but they're just kind of like making sure that no one is sticking out, like no one's doing anything magic. Ever since he said that, you're kind of like, huh.
It's like that. If you see something, say something, kind of.
Yeah. Like everyone's on, the neighborhood watch, kind of like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, the night goes on, and unless you guys want to do anything else, do you want to head back to the inn?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Better check on Rebecca.
You head back to the inn. Rebecca is fine. She's just chewing what looks like a very long piece of grass. She baws when she sees you and kind of nuzzles up next to you. And are you gonna sleep in the room, Theo, or are you gonna sleep out in the stables again?
Well, we'll stay out in the stables.
Okay. So, Melbin heads up to the room, and Theo, you go to the stables. About an hour after being out there, Lassie comes out, and she's like, "What are you doing? You can't stay out here."
What you? I was just
I didn't
talking.
know that.
I'm just tucking her in. It's fine. I'm taking your accent.
Listen, I'm not here to judge what you do with your sheep, but please,
Okay.
I don't want any funny business here.
Okay, it's not like that.
All right. Well, however,
look,
it's like,
just-
listen, you paid for a room. You might as well go up and use it.
Well, okay, I guess
I've
I
got
will.
nice beds. Do you not like me beds?
Well, you don't understand. Rebecca's a very special sheep.
Oh, well, I mean, she is a bit unusual with the, what is that, like shiny wool? I've never seen a sheep like that before.
This is a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind. I've never seen it before either.
Well, that's unusual.
I just
Well,
don't
I
want
mean-
anybody to hurt her or take her away.
I understand. Listen, I do. I take care of my goats. We've got Angus and Fletcher over there. Those are my goats, and all the chickens and horses. I understand, and she'll be fine out here.
Okay. Well,
I've
I
never
put a.
lost an animal since I've been here, and this inn is well protected.
Well, I appreciate that. And I gave Angus. I put a splint on his leg. He was limping a little bit. I hope
Oh.
that's okay. A little bit of salve on there. Looked like he had a bit of a rash, so that'll straighten him out in a couple of days.
Well, yeah, he turned his ankle on a walk the other day, but thank you.
I could see that.
Listen,
Well,
it'll
I'll.
make me feel better if you go up to the room with your friend.
Okay, fair enough. I will head up there.
Your sheep will be fine. I'll keep an eye on Rebecca.
Okay. All right. Good night, Rebecca. Mwah. Give her a little kiss on the top of the head.
And she says something in Dwarvish that seems like, oh my gosh, what do you speak Dwarvish?
No.
She's like, it's kind of like, ooh, this guy. So you head up to the room, and you guys drift off to sleep, and you find night takes you. And are you both going to bed, or are you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So, you hope that it's going to be a better night's sleep than last night. I had both of you had kind of a waking nightmare, and in the middle of the night, I would like both of you to make perception checks with disadvantage because you're sleeping.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. 6.
18.
Ooh. Okay. Melbin is dreaming soundly of... What are you dreaming of, Melbin? Trees and flowers?
Trees, grass, flowers, butterflies.
A beautiful sunlit field of
Oh, a fluffy bunny.
carnations and animals that are frolicking, and it's so much more enjoyable. Theo, you awake with a start, and you just wake up thinking something might have happened to Rebecca. And standing at the foot of your bed, you see a shape, a humanoid shape, and you see a kind of a glowing face from beneath a cloak, and he says, "If you want to talk with Mr. Bloodmoon, you have to go through me first." And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.